Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop right there. This channel is not intended for kids under the age of 13. So if you're under the age of 13, please leave.
Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have Action Force Bone Collector. This is my first in-hand Action Force figure. I'm pretty stoked. I ordered off of the Valaverse site and it got shipped out. I got some more pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store and the packaging is pretty awesome. I like the color scheme. I like where you can see the name of the character. You got that Valaverse V at the bottom right. It is a nice package, windowing all that you get with the figure. Actually, it windows a lot that you get with the figure, but I think there's more behind him if I'm not mistaken. But the Bone Collector looks awesome in package, and with all your Action Force orders, you're probably going to get a form. I don't know if it'll be green or white or whatever. It is a CYA form. It is a cover your ass form. A lot of companies do this basically to prevent you from just opening it and manhandling it and breaking the shit out of your figures. So make sure you guys follow those rules so you can soften it up, because you know you got biometric pressure and temperatures changing and plastic expanding and contrasting and all that crazy shit. So just make sure your figures don't break. I'm going to link down below some video tutorials and heat up the figs. Allow them to move. On the left side of the package, it says Action Force. On the right side of the package, for you inbox collectors or the ones that like to keep the packaging, you got the artwork of the Bone Collector in grayscale, looking pretty awesome. It does say the Bone Collector is 01-03, so maybe that's wave 1 and he's the third from the wave. I'm not sure about what those numbers mean. And then we got this like Blair Witch design to represent Bone Collector. So I guess maybe like when he kills people and rips out their bones, he leaves like this symbol or something. I'd like to learn more about that logo, but you got this cool looking artwork. Now I gotta give credit where credit's due. Bobby, man, with the Action Force packaging, you really gave us what we weren't getting with the Classified Series line. I love the back of this package. I love how you have the whole set of Series 1 on there. I mean, you got the artwork, which looks amazing. And you can sit there and go through. You got Condor, the Bone Collector, Steel Brigade, Swarm Trooper, Karak, Sergeant Slaughter. And then you got the QR code to scan so you can order some of these figures. I know a lot of them are sold out with the Series 1. So, you know, you definitely would have had to have been on top of these. You might be able to find some, you know, scattered through amongst other online retailers. But definitely Series 1 is going fast. And on top of that, you not only got the little part on the box where you can check off the characters as you're getting them, but you even have a file card. You got a point system. Come on, who remembers the point system with Joes and Turtles and everything? I just love how this box is laid out, and it's awesome. It just hits right in the nostalgia. Here we have a close-up of that amazing file card. Yes, we get file cards with our figures where you can read up about them. And I mean, if you want to read up more, I mean, there's a comic series as well. I'm going to link all the links to all the Valaverse Action Force stuff down below, so make sure you check that out. But I thought this was pretty cool because I never knew Bone Collector's name was Arthur Allen. And I'm like, wow, my name is Arthur. And then I have a brother, Alan, which I just thought was sort of funny. But that's awesome that we get these file cards, and we get a file card with every character. Now, normally I don't show like the plastic bubbles and stuff like that, but I wanted to really show with Action Force what you get. Bobby made these with the collector in mind, because not only do you get this nice cover that just opens up, we get a nice film. Probably peel it up from one side. Feels like a fruit roll-up wrapper. And then you get access to the figure and everything. Now, the reason we get this, you can lay it back over, is it prevents paint rub onto the actual packaging. So it's there to protect your collectible from getting any paint rub from shipping and stuff like that. And I think that's an awesome feature. Now, with every Action Force figure, you're going to receive a Action Force figure stand. And these figure stands look awesome. I like how they're like metal looking, and you got the Action Force logo on there. But what's really nice is they're a nice size stand. They're not overly massive. They're not going to take up a bunch of real estate. And we get 4 different pegs on this stand, so you can get your figure all posed up nicely. He'll be able to balance. You're not being so restricted with only just 1 foot peg. The Bone Collector comes with a kukri blade, and this thing looks awesome. It's done in that black hard plastic with a little bit of paint that makes the world of a difference on this, and that's a silver strip of paint that goes along the edge of the blade, and it really makes this weapon stand out for a blade, and it looks really well done. Now, when it comes to Bone Collector sidearm, he comes with a powerhouse. We get ourselves a silver Desert Eagle. It has the front barrel with the hole in it, so you can put the muzzle flashes. So if you picked up any of the muzzle flashes from Action Force or any of the weapon packs, you'll have that capability of plugging that in there. And this thing is sculpted super well. I mean, it's probably one of the best Desert Eagle weapons I've ever seen come with the figure. Bone Collector's primary weapon is a M4 assault rifle with the grenade launcher attachment. At least this looks like an M4. This thing looks amazing. I love the green that they added to it, the silver to the magazine. It really makes this gun pop, and the sculpt work and detail in this gun is phenomenal. We got texture up on the green as well. The actual barrels for the grenade launcher and the gun have muzzle flash holes, so you can actually port in effects. This thing is beautiful. It's a well done gun, and the magazine itself comes out. So it's a little bit snug in there initially. Pull it out. I wish there was a sculpted bullet in there and it was painted like that. Would have been the cherry on top of the sundae. But besides that, it fits in like a glove. It doesn't fall out, and we get an extra couple magazines on his person. Now, one of my favorite accessories is the item that really identifies the figure as the Bone Collector, and that would be his mask. And this thing is gorgeous. I love the bone sculpt to it. I love the big old fangs. They even added a wash to it to make it pop even further. I mean, this thing is freaking badass looking. And one thing that's awesome about it too is the strapping on it. It's definitely strapped like it's a ballistics mask, and I really dig that design, and just this thing just looks mean. The Bone Collector comes with 4 pairs of hands, and he comes with a pair of fist hands equipped. We get a pair of grip hands. We also get a pair of trigger finger hands. The last pair of hands that we receive are support hands. You got that nice cup to them to where it can support the underbarrel of a rifle. I mean, these are hands that have been missing in the figure realm for a while, especially with military style figures. You know, we're getting all these rifles and guns, but we don't have that proper support for them. I mean, if they have a front grip, that's something different, but with ones that don't have a front grip, you need that barrel stabilization and that support. Here we have an up-close look at Bone Collector, and straight off with that head sculpt, it looks amazing. And it actually reminds me of the actor Mark Strong. Besides the head sculpt looking badass, I mean, it has that sternness. It has that confidence that's behind this facial expression. The sculpt work, we got the forehead wrinkles. We got the cheekbone sculpted in. I mean, this head sculpt is pretty freaking awesome. I mean, it is a beautiful looking head sculpt. The neck, you can sort of see there's that like line gappage on the neck. That's unfortunate when you turn it, but at least he has these tall collars on his vest that block it. But I mean, it's a great looking head sculpt. The ears are sculpted nicely. And then speaking of his vest, this vest is freaking phenomenal. It is a badass looking vest. You got the extra rounds for his grenade launcher on his rifle, just straight on his chest. He's got some damage to the plates on his chest. Really just showing that he's a badass and he's seen combat. Like, I love the dings and nicks and the paint. Did I mention paint? We got Valaverse not scared to paint their figures or weapons, which definitely is a great touch. You got that green that we've seen on the barrel of the gun underneath where the butterfly is. We got sculpted in pouches. The gloves look amazing. Again, I love that green. I'm a sucker for green. The back plate definitely seen some damage. It's really cool. I love all the scuffs and marks on the plates. We got his sheath for his kukri, and got a little bit of a belt flappage here that you can hang something from. just a really, really nice looking vest. Yeah, the sculpt work, I mean, there's definitely a lot of thought. And I think this is a separate, yeah, this is a whole separate, like, floating belt right there. And we get down to his pants and stuff. I love the gray. I love the green camo. And we got the sidearm holster there. It's done in, like, a silver underneath, like, plate. And then you got the actual sheath is in black. Other side, same idea, but we get mag pouches, and these are the magazines that I were mentioning. These actually slide right out, so he has magazine storage on the person, which is awesome. You know, how many times we've seen figures that they sculpt in these magazines, you're like, man, if only I could just take them out. Well, Action Force definitely did that. He's got a little bit of a butt. Just, again, I love the green and gray. I love how the knee pads are a different toned gray instead of just casting them all in the same color. And then we get down to the boots. And the boots have a great texture. It's like a leathery texture throughout. The laces look right. And then even the bottoms of the boots are all sculpted. Now diving into articulation, his head is on a disc and ball joint, so he can look up quite a bit. You can look down quite a bit, you know, full 360. You can sort of see the disc right there. It will be nice if he starts implementing the double barbell, sort of like the Classified series, but as of right now, I mean, this still works and it looks good. The arms are freaking fantastic. So you can get him up into a nice T pose, and the butterflies work like butter. And when I say work like butter, I mean, take a look at how, look at that. Look at that. That is how butterfly joints work. Then you can go all the way back like so. Still looking really nice. We got the bicep swivel right here. His arms can do full 360 as well because they're disc hinge and all that stuff in the shoulder. Double jointed elbow. So you get some good range of motion there. So you can get them all flexing. You get wrist rotation, and then of course you're going to get your wrist bend in here. Now one thing, you guys are probably like, man, he's got this vest on, he can't articulate. Well, you can take the vest off if you want, but he can articulate in the vest. So may not be crazy, but it's that waist hula hoop type of action that you can get. But I mean, you can get him to bend down quite a bit for being in a vest. Leaning back, he can lean back quite a bit. So that's really cool. It's a very softer material, and you can still get some posing out of it. Now, once you take this off, you'll get more, but you shouldn't be really able to bend right here or anything like that, because these are like big old plates. But it's still cool that you get that type of articulation out of them. He can do the straight up, the Van Damme right here. Van Damme right out the door. We get thigh cuts. He can kick way up there. So you can Spartan kick, field goal kick. We get the double jointed knees. Work really well, and they actually look nice. They don't look sloppy or anything like that. So get some nice kicks. Boot cut where the boot is, which is a really, really nice thing. Ankle bend. And we get pivot in there. So this guy has tons of articulation, and that's without even removing the vest. Here we have Bone Collector without his vest. And yes, I took the vest off. And I know a lot of people are complaining, but I mean, the vest itself, I got it to close without it being on him. So we'll definitely do a test of putting it onto him after I show you this, because I think this looks awesome. This undershirt, it is a very, very awesome design. It's so cleanly done. You got texture on the top. I love the green and black. That green and black has definitely got a spot in my heart. And again, it just looks nice and clean. And you can see what's underneath. We got this ball here. So tons of articulation. I mean, look at that lean forward. Look at the lean back. It's all natural. It's not all crazy gappy and stuff. Like, it is just nice to have a figure that articulates nice and smooth. And again, it's a nice looking figure. Now, I know a lot of people have been complaining about putting the vest back on the figure. As you can see, the vest is back on. I did not have to heat this damn vest up. I don't know why people were saying that you have to heat it up. You need to run like freaking poles or whatever, sticks through the holes to open them up to get this to clasp. But I didn't have any issues with it closing whatsoever. I did it all with my hands and no hair dryer needed. I had no issues with the vest. I think the vests are good. This figure is super fun to pose around. Like, I just have him charging at you with his deagle ready to blast you in the face, and he's ready to slice you open. And again, there's no problem with posing up the figure. You don't really need the stand. Of course, for long-term poses like this, you might want to, if you're going to put a bunch of them all posed up on a shelf and you don't want a domino effect. But he is holding his balance very well, and it's a solid looking figure. The trigger finger actually goes through like a real trigger finger. It looks really nice there. You can take the gun out. His holster just fits nice and snug. So you can put it in there. There's no hole at the bottom, which is nice. Like, I hate where you can just push your gun through on a lot of figures and the barrel will come through and stuff. I just like how it's an enclosed bottom. Then we got the spot for his sword. Now, or his kukri. The problem I have is the fact that a lot of the hands are hinged going in and out, and the ones that go up and down are the trigger finger hands. I wish we had some gripping hands that can go up and down because you're dealing with bladed weapons. We also hit a little bit of a bump with putting this into its sheath. Like, it pretty much, if I can, yeah, it's at like a, it's pretty much at a standstill. Like, it hits something in there where it can't get pushed in all the way to where the handle should be. Technically, this blade should be in like that, but it doesn't. As you can see, as I push it in, it hits something and it prevents that from going all the way in. Now it's time for some comparison with, we got ourselves Major Blood right here. They look pretty awesome together. Let's go ahead. We can add ourselves a alley viper in there. And again, scaling really well with the classified line, and they just blend really well together. Like, I mean, this guy is super bright orange and great for urban assault apparently, but if you're looking at just like Bone Collector next to Major Blood, Bone Collector definitely looks like, you know, a hired mercenary, you know. And then we can go ahead and add a big old Joe next to him. We got ourselves Roadblock here, who does stand a lot taller, as he should, because Roadblock's massive, but still very awesome how these blend together. And Bone Collector just looks so badass. I just decided to get Bone Collector all like sort of posed up like he's gearing up, so he's holstering his deagle and he's putting on his bone mask. Here we have Bone Collector punishing the Punisher, just blasting the hell out of him with his deagle. And I am having so much fun with this figure, with my Dio, with other figures. It is awesome. And the fact that you can actually have him hold a pistol and support it with his other hand is great. That is a great feature. I love the fact that you have that type of articulation with these figures. Not many can do it because their butterfly joints are garbage. Bone Collector is such a vicious looking mercenary. He looks super badass, and he looks like he can really go toe to toe with any action figure in your collection. I added the little smoke effect to the muzzle because I don't have any of the effect pieces yet for the muzzle flashes and stuff, but that smoke piece from one of the Marvel Legends figures I got, I think it was the War Machine, plugs right in there and it looks great. And these figures, I mean, this is coming from a huge G.I. Joe fan. I'm loving the classified line. Action Force is what's up. Like, it's doing so much right. I had to heat up the figure. Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of those little notes with a lot of action figures I collect, so that's normal to me. I know a lot of people were bitching about the vest. Well, honestly, I was able to remove the vest, put it back on without heating it up, without using anything to stretch the holes. I just used my fat fingers, and it worked fine to get the vest back on. It didn't have any issues. And you're getting alternate hands that we should have been having. We can get them into some nice natural poses. The posing in these figures just feels so freaking good. And when I was reviewing it, I was looking, seeing if there's anything I could point out, be like, well, this could be better. Because, I mean, I want to give constructive feedback. You know, the gripping hands that can go vertically, that's one of the things that I would say is needed, especially if you're dealing with swords or knives or axes. But other than that, I mean, these figures are phenomenal. I can't wait to get the rest in so I can review them. But Bone Collector is definitely one of the top tier from Series 1. So I hope you guys are getting a hold of it, because I'm having a blast with it. And as you can see in the background, he's having a blast too. But that sums up my unboxing and review of Action Force Bone Collector. If you guys liked what you saw, hit that thumbs up. New to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the silver bell notification while you're at it, so you know when I post up a new video. And all the links to get a hold of some Action Force figures are going to be down below. Even the how to warm up your figure and stuff like that to make sure that joints are all nice and good to move. All that's going to be down below. So definitely take a look at that. And most importantly, I want you guys to have the best luck hunting. Keep on collecting and have a beautiful day.